Checking 1, 2. Good evening, everybody. Garen Skates here, live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. And we're here for the Western Texas College Classic. I'll be your commentator for this evening. We appreciate all of you that are viewing in on the live video stream. And our first matchup of this evening will be your Lady Westerners from Western Texas College hosting the Coastal Bend Women's Cougars. We'll go ahead and go over the starting lineups in just a moment. Looking at the Coastal Bend Cougars, who come in with a overall record of 1 win and 5 losses. They've done a lot of traveling. They were at San Antonio College, South Plains, Dodge City, Southwestern, all on the road. They played on Veterans Day. They played Western Texas College. The Lady Westerners lost that game. And then they took on Howard College on the 12th. And they're here at the WTC Classic. So they've done a lot of traveling. For the Coastal Bend Lady Cougars, number 1, Shayla Dede, a guard and their leading scorer, sophomore, 5'6" out of San Antonio. Number 2, J.D. Zamora, a guard freshman, 5'6" out of Alice, Texas. Number 4, Jada Beasley, a guard sophomore, 5'6" out of Houston. Number 21, Keely Burks, freshman, 5'8" from Dallas. And number 45, Terriana McNary, a 5'11" sophomore out of Mount Pleasant, Texas. So again, the Lady Cougars from Coastal Bend here at the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas, come in with a 1-5 record. All right, and of course your host team for this WTC Classic, the men's game for Western Texas College, will follow this one. You've got the Lady Westerners from Western Texas College. They come in with an overall record 2-3. Brianna Cias and Sequoia Carroll are their leading scorers at 13 points a game and 11.5 points a game, respectively. Number 3, Michaela Ray, a 5'5" sophomore from Crosby. Number 12, Sequoia Carroll, a 5'10" freshman from Crosby. Padaria Delamere will be starting, a sophomore, 5'8" from New Zealand. Number 20, Jamisa Reese, a freshman, 5'10" from Killeen. And number 24, Brianna Montoya, a freshman, 5'6" from El Paso, Texas, will be your starting lineup. And controlling the tip to start the game for the Lady Westerners. Delamere now down in the corner. She gets the ball back. Skip pass over the other side. And a 3, no good. And a tie-up on the rebound with Sequoia Carroll after the missed 3 by Montoya. And it'll be Lady Cougar basketball. All right, the Lady Cougars with the basketball now. They're moving in the dark jerseys from right to left on your screen. Dede with it now. She starts to drive, has the Euro step, and manages to get the bucket. And the Lady Cougars lead 9:22 in the first quarter, 2-0. Back the other way now with the drive and a kick out to Montoya. Another 3. That one no good as well. And a defensive rebound by Coastal Bend. Coastal Bend with the basketball now. Beasley there on the right side with the dribble. Comes back out to the top of the key. Gets it over to Burks. Burks works around, and another layup and another basket for Coastal Bend. Janila Kennedy out on the floor for the Lady Westerners. Carroll with it, back out. Delamere for a three. That one is no good. 3 shots, all from long range for the Lady Westerners. Not a one has dropped yet. 4-0, Coastal Bend. Back the other way, and another layup by Dede. And it's 6-0 Coastal Bend here in the first quarter. Remember, in ladies junior college basketball, it's 4 quarters instead of 2 halves. A team that commits 5 fouls in a quarter, the other team will be shooting 2 foul shots for the rest of that quarter. Kennedy fires off a 3. That's no good. And Coastal Bend, Dede back the other way, tries a crossover move. Nearly lost it, kicks it out. Beasley has her shot blocked. Montoya picks it up, but loses the handle. And Zamora back out with it, off to Dede. Dede, the dribble. A 3 fired up by McNary, no good. And back the other way for the Lady Westerners. It's Delamere with the basketball. Behind her to Montoya. Montoya with the dribble. Over to Carroll. Carroll inside. Into the corner. Delamere, that's normally her spot. She tries to follow her own offensive rebound, but Karam's out of bounds, and it'll be Coastal Bend basketball. The Lady Westerners head coach is Clarissa Crum, and assisted by Cameron Cates. And certainly our condolences and our thoughts and prayers with Coach Crum, as she lost her father early this morning, is my understanding. So we certainly want to keep her and the family in our prayers. Dede back the other way now. Inside, the ball kicked away, but stolen back away by Burks. McNary with the basketball now. Over to Dede. On the floor, the floater, no good. Shot clock, rebound though, back by Burks. And right now, Coastal Bend is really taking it to the Lady Westerners on the glass. And Kennedy has picked up the foul. That'll be her first. Or excuse me, I said Kennedy, I'm sorry. Reese picked up the foul, her first. 6-0, Coastal Bend with the lead. The free throw by Burks is good. From the free throw line so far this season, Burks shoots at a 64% clip, but she's good on both of them there. And it's an 8-0 lead for Coastal Bend. 6:38 to go in the first quarter. Back the other way for the Lady Westerners. Ciasin with the left-handed jumper and gets the Lady Westerners on the board with the 2. 8-2, Coastal Bend. Dede back the other way for the Lady Cougars. Over to Burks. Burks with it now. Inside, and a steal by Carroll. Back the other way, Okoye. Delamere back to Okoye. Misses the 3. Rebound, Coastal Bend. Dede back the other way, runs into Carroll, who was moving and is going to pick up the foul. And you can see Coastal Bend's strategy is to run the floor and try to get as many easy basket opportunities as they can. It's a non-shooting foul, so it'll be Coastal Bend inbounding the basketball. A shot by Zamora, no good. Knocked out of bounds, and it'll be Lady Westerner basketball. Also in for the Lady Westerners, number 21, Emma Hubbard, a freshman, 5'11", from Liberty Hill. Rachel Okoye, a freshman, into the game, 5'6", out of Houston. She'll be inbounding the basketball. And four-court pressure by Coastal Bend. Coastal Bend drops back now. Looks like they're in a man-to-man. Okoye with the basketball, gets a screen, drives off the glass, no good. kicks it back out to Carroll after getting her own rebound, and Carroll drives and is fouled. And it looks like Burks is going to pick up the foul. That'll be her first. And then it'll send Carroll to the free throw line. Carroll shooting 62.5% from the foul line so far this season. The other one is up, and it rattles out. It's an 8-3 Coastal Bend lead with 5.5 to go here in the first quarter. Dede tries to get the layup, but no good. Hubbard bothered the shot there in the corner. Delamere fires. Got it! And Delamere hits the three, and it's an 8-6 Coastal Bend lead at 2. 5:10 to go in the opening period. Burks drives for Coastal Bend, no good. Off the glass, rebound, running. Lady Westerners, Cias pulls up, but Brianna can't get it to fall down. So back the other way, Lady Cougars with the basketball. Beasley with it, works inside, no good, and it's fouled by Hubbard. That'll be her first personal foul. 3 team fouls on the Lady Westerners in the opening quarter, and there's a timeout on the floor. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout as well. You're watching from the Western Texas College Classic, the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. Lady Westerners hosting the Coastal Bend Lady Cougars. We'll be back when action resumes. We're here at the Western Texas College Classic here at the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. Lady Westerners in the home white jerseys with the green and blue trim and numerals and letters, taking on the Coastal Bend College Lady Cougars in the dark blue uniforms with the light blue and white trim and numerals and lettering. Coastal Bend leading 9-6. Make it 10-6. Lady Westerners now working against pressure. Okoye gets between everybody. Running the floor is Carroll. Oh, and a really nice attempt at a fast break basket, but Carroll got a little bit underneath, and the official has whistled a technical foul. And I presume it's going to be against Okoye. I don't know what happened there. Carroll's shot wasn't good, so evidently she must have expressed some kind of displeasure on the way back up the court. Meanwhile, for Coastal Bend, Zamora is at the foul line and misses both. So coming into the game is Kawani Hall, number 5, a 5'5" sophomore from Killeen, Texas. A long shot by Coastal Bend, no good. Back the other way. And it's Cias with the basketball. And Bree loses the ball, dives to get it back, and it's going to be a jump ball And that time Cius dribbled into a double team. Number 22 from Coastal Bend is on the floor, but not listed on the roster, at least not under that number. So we'll try to identify that person. Carroll, meanwhile, inside, works against the 2-3 zone. Doesn't get the shot, but she does draw the foul. And Kennedy picks up the foul, and Brianna Montoya comes in for Padua Delamere for the Lady Westerners. Montoya, number 24, and the freshman from El Paso. Carroll at the line, hits the first one, has another shot coming. 3:54 to go in the first. 4 team fouls on the Lady Westerners, 2 on Coastal Bend. Carroll knocks down both free throws, and it's a 10-8 Coastal Bend Lady Cougar lead. Janila Kennedy is in the game along with Hall, Hubbard, Montoya, and Cius for the Lady Westerners. Over the other way now, and a long three, no good by Coastal Bend. Kennedy misses that shot. Reese is the player that's in for the Lady Westerners. Reese now, right side to Montoya, back to Reese. Looking inside to Hubbard, gets it there. Hubbard back out. Back out to Montoya, fires the three, got it! And Brianna Montoya hits the three, and it's an 11-10 Lady Westerner lead, their first lead of the ball game. Kennedy now for Coastal Bend to Zamora with the dribble at the top of the key. Pulls it back the other way. Lady Cougars. Montoya tries for the steal. Firing away and missing everything is Sydney Deedy, a freshman from San Antonio. And it'll be Lady Westerner basketball. All right, Deedy back in for Zamora. And also coming in for Coastal Bend is number 11, Genesis Nichols from Robinson, Texas. Cius back up. Montoya. Kennedy. Or Reese, excuse me, can't control it. Then she gets it out of there, but it goes to Coastal Bend. 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's an 11-10 Lady Westerner lead. A block by Cius. Back out to Kennedy now. Fires a three. No good. Rebound underneath. Missing that shot. But yet getting it back and salvaging the possession for Coastal Bend is number 14. And that time Kennedy didn't miss the jumper. 12-11. And of course the Lady Cougars had 4 shots at it on that trip, and they finally got it to go down. Hall has it knocked out of her hands, out of bounds, so Lady Westerners will be inbounding. Coming in for the Lady Westerners, number 50, Sheila Lee, a freshman, 6'2", from Georgetown. Delamere back into the game. Over to Montoya. Fakes the three. Thought Lee was going inside. The turnover, Deedy, Kennedy, the shot, no good, rebound, Carroll. Hall brings it up for the Lady Westerners. 12-11, Coastal Bend has the 1-point lead. Inside to Carroll, has her shot stuffed, and it's a jump ball, and the possession arrow is in favor of Coastal Bend. And many times when you're working underneath the basket, when you bring that ball down to your waist or below, usually it becomes a recipe for trouble. Deedy now back the other way, and an offensive foul is called against Sydney Deedy from Coastal Bend. Her first, that's the third team foul on the Lady Cougars. Lady Westerners inbounding the ball. Montoya with it now and across the timeline. 2-3 zone by Coastal Bend. Delamere drives, gets her missed shot back, sees Hall in the cut, off the glass and can't get it to fall. Good effort by Delamere and Hall, but just couldn't get it to connect. Deedy now to Kennedy. Lee tips it away. Montoya fires for three, no good. Rebound. Delamere gets it under control with the dribble and pulls it out. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Hall fires for three, no good. Lee tips it out on the floor, and a foul is committed in the ensuing scramble. And I guess it's going to be on Sequoia Carroll, which would be her second. Number 45, McNary, in for Coastal Bend. For the Lady Westerners, Hubbard, Montoya, Delamere, Lee, and Hall on the floor. And Sydney Deedy at the line, misses the free throw. It's still a 12-11 Coastal Bend lead. 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. The men's game follows this one as that free throw is off. It's scheduled to tip off at 8 o'clock against Victoria College, the Westerners, hosting Victoria. Delamere now holding the basketball and tries to get it underneath. And it's tipped out of bounds, so the Lady Westerners will keep possession. Coming in is Burks for Coastal Bend. Sydney Deedy goes out. Hall now. Out to Montoya. No call there in the contact. Delamere drives inside. Her shot is blocked, but she was fouled in the process. All right, I believe that the foul was on Nichols of Coastal Bend. Delamere will go to the line with 7 seconds to go in the quarter. Lady Westerners will fall back. So Padawea Delamere with a chance to tie the game up or put the Lady Westerners ahead. She misses the first one. Delamere, 64% on the season. Misses both, but she gets her miss back, but she can't control the basketball. Back the other way, Coastal Bend, and the buzzer sounds. And that's going to be it for the first period here in the Western Texas College Classic. Lady Westerners hosting Coastal Bend. And Coastal Bend has the lead after one, 12-11. We'll take a break, and then we'll be back with second quarter action. We're here at the Western Texas College Classic from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. Coastal Bend, the Lady Cougars are coached by Nathan Purswell and assisted by Alexis Cohen. So we begin the second quarter of play, 12-11. Coastal Bend is the 1-point lead. The Lady Westerners moving from left to right on your screen in the white home uniforms with the basketball. Hubbard to Delamere, fires for three, can't get it to go. And Coastal Bend nearly throws it away. Shayla Dede with the basketball now, comes back the other way. Into the lane, and the pass stolen by Delamere, quickly up to Montoya. Cross court to Hall, but it's stolen back by Coastal Bend. Dede with the basketball now at the foul line. Firing away is Coastal Bend, no good. And Hall is fouled by number 3, Alani Selden from the Lady Cougars. Selden, a 5'9" freshman from San Antonio. Hubbard inbounds to Hall. Kawani Hall with it, back to Delamere now, looking inside to Lee. Cross court to Montoya, 2-3 zone by Coastal Bend. Hubbard drives, gets an open shot down low, but can't connect on it. Coastal Bend back the other way. Dede with the basketball drives. Hubbard tried to draw the charge, but Dede gets the bucket. And Dede's collected 6 points in the ball game. Inside, Lee gets it close, but she can't connect. And right now, the Lady Westerners are having an awful time finding the bottom of the net. Coastal Bend misses the three. Delamere moves in for the rebound, but they're going to call her for going over the back. (14-11), Coastal Bend is the lead, 8:20 to go in the second quarter. A host of new players for Coastal Bend. Dede still out there, along with Kennedy and Sydney Dede, who gets the attempt but can't get it to go. Michaela Ray now coming back down the other way to Montoya. Delamere drives. Off to Reese, off the glass, and can't get it to go. She gets her own rebound, can't get it to go. Gets her own offensive rebound to Montoya, drives, and has the ball tipped away from her. Turnover, Lady Westerners. Dede back the other way for Coastal Bend. Can't get it to go, and it's knocked out of bounds, and it'll be Lady Westerner basketball. Michaela Ray, a sophomore, 5'5", from Crosby, Texas. And several young ladies from Crosby on the Lady Westerner roster. Ray now inbounds to Cias. Brianna Cias gets it across the timeline. Brianna, freshman, 5'8", from Baytown, Texas. Montoya. Cias steps back. Montoya working against the zone. Inside to Reese. Can't handle a hard pass. And Coastal Bend with the basketball. Dede out of control, but yet somehow gets it in and off the glass. And right now, for Coastal Bend, Shayla Dede doing a lot of making her own luck. 16-11, Coastal Bend with the lead. Delamere back the other way, wide open underneath. Good interior passing, and Reese gets the bucket. 16-13, Coastal Bend the lead in the ball. 6:43 to go in the second quarter. Kennedy inside to Sydney Dede, who puts it up, and she's fouled by Cius. So it's a two-shot foul, so Sydney Dede will be at the line. Coming in for Coastal Bend, number 2, J.D. Zamora. And number 10, Jordan Shepard. Shepard, a 5'3" freshman from San Antonio. Sydney Dede at the line, hits the first one. She's shooting 63% from the free throw line on the season. Misses that one. Lane violation. Lady Westerner basketball working against the press. Pass tipped away. Cius recovers it over to Delamere. A near turnover that time by the Lady Westerners. Cius fires away from the corner and got it. And Bree Cius nails the three from the corner. And the Lady Westerners pull back to within one, 17-16. They've only led once in this game, and wide open. Kennedy was headed toward the bucket, but it was an offensive foul in the screen by Nichols. Meanwhile, Jada Beasley, the sophomore for Coastal Bend, number 4, enters the game. Back the other way, Brias with the basketball, top of the key. Delamere fires away for 3. Long rebound. Ray gets it. Back to Cius, to Delamere. Looking inside. Drive out to Cius. And on the drive gets fouled by, I believe, number 14, Sydney Dede. Delamere out. McNary in, Sydney Dede out, Cius at the foul line. No, Delamere's not out. She was just having a conversation with Coach Crum. Cius misses the free throw. Cius shooting 60% from the season, from the foul line for the season, excuse me. And she has another one coming. It's up and it's good. And this game is tied at 17 with 5:40 to go in the second quarter. Back the other way now. Inside, who loses control of the basketball, but they're calling a foul. And I believe it's on Montoya. That'll be her first. And it sends McNary to the foul line. McNary misses the first one. She's shooting on the season 75%, 6 out of 8 from the line. And 1 out of 2 there. 18-17, Coastal Bend, the 1-point lead at 5.5 to go in the second quarter. Into the corner. Ray throws it away over the head of Montoya. And it's another turnover back to Coastal Bend. Zamora brings the ball up for Coastal Bend. On the dribble, putting it up. No good is Shepard. And the ball knocked out of bounds by Kennedy. And it'll be Lady Westerner basketball. Lady Westerner has a chance to take the lead. If they do so, it would only be their second lead of the ball game. Delamere at the foul line finds herself open off the back of the iron. Jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Lady Cougars. And we've got a timeout called on the floor, so we're going to take one as well. You're watching the Western Texas College Basketball Classic live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. We'll be back in just a moment. Here from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas, it's the Western Texas College Classic. In this game, the Lady Westerners, the host lady squad, wearing their white home uniforms tonight. Down to Coastal Bend, the Lady Cougars, 18-17. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. Kennedy back the other way, but loses the ball on the drive. Ray back the other way. Delamere in the corner. Montoya for three, can't get it to go. Lady Westerners have hoisted up a lot of threes, but have not been successful on very many. Shepard a shot off the glass, that was wild. Reese off to Michaela Ray. Cius with it. Delamere drives in, but can't get it to go. Had the right idea, got in for a shot, just couldn't get it to connect. Back the other way now. Beasley, Kennedy, Shepard in the corner. Was thinking about the three, now she's going to drive and reject it out of there by Reese. Rachel Okoye comes back into the ball game along with then Selena Salava, sophomore, 5'7" from El Paso. And it was a 5-second call on the inbound, so turnover back to the Lady Westerners. Still an opportunity for the Lady Westerners to take the lead. Okoye now with the basketball across the timeline, hand off to Salava. Reese starts to take off, travels, and the ball back over to the Coastal Bend Lady Cougars. Coastal Bend with the basketball now. It's Zamora. Zamora firing for three off the glass and good by McNary. And McNary has attempted 24 three-point shots in the season, and that's the sixth one that she's made. And Okoye with a lot of dribbling knocked out of there by Shepard. 21-17, Coastal Bend, the 4-point lead. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Salava out to Okoye. Into the corner. Miss on the three by Salina, but Reese with the basketball and the rebound, and she's fouled. And I believe Kennedy of Coastal Bend committed the foul. Delamere inside. Okoye for three, can't get it to go. and tipped out of bounds by Kennedy, so Lady Westerners will get another chance at it. Delamere now inbounds. Okoye. Reese starts to make a move. It's knocked out of there. Delamere for three. Can't get it to go. Rebound. Coastal Bend. Zamora back the other way. Into Kennedy. Starts to make a move and is bumped from behind. And Salava's going to commit the foul. .227 to go in the second period. 4 fouls apiece, so everybody shooting 2 for the rest of the quarter after the next foul. Coming in for the Lady Westerners, number 11, Janiah Johnson, a freshman, 5'9", from Houston. Meanwhile, Kennedy misses the free throw. Kennedy, the foul line, and gets that one to go in. And it's a 22-17 Coastal Bend lead. Okoye back the other way. Now gets the handoff, gets an open look at it, and gets the layup to go. 22-19, Coastal Bend by 3. 2:10 to go in the first half. Dede, a lot of dribbling, traveling, no call. Missed the shot. Johnson with the rebound off to Okoye. Right side, firing for 3, no good, is Reese. Dede back the other way, off the glass, and draws the foul. Well, she's definitely the spark plug of the offense for Coastal Bend as Okoye commits the foul. As a matter of fact, Shayla Dede's averaging 14 points a game, and the closest person to her is Zamora at 8 points a game. So Okoye comes out with those 2 fouls, and Hall comes in. Meanwhile, Dede hits the free throw, and it's a 23-19 Coastal Bend lead. Minute 43 to go in the second quarter. Both free throws are good. Salava inbounds to Hall. Gets the screen, drives into the lane. Reese out to Johnson, who drives. Gets the contact and drops the bucket. And it's a charging foul on Johnson. Wow. Well, a tough call there on Janiah Johnson. So no bucket for the Lady Westerners. Coastal Bend with the basketball in the corner to Beasley. Over to Selden, back to Dede. The spin move, up off the glass and good. And Shayla Dede just not to be denied going to the bucket. Reese fires a shot. Johnson tips it out. Down in the corner. Salava to back to Reese. To Hall. 50 seconds to go in the quarter. 11 on the shot clock. Hall puts it up and good. Nice jump shot there by Kawani Hall. 26-21. Coastal Bend leads by 5. 32 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. Dede forces her way in. And is going to draw the foul in Kawani Hall. And will go to the line. And the official explaining to Coach Crum and Hall that her hands, well, her arms moved down at the elbow, and if she had kept them straight up, then he wouldn't have called the foul. Nevertheless, Shayla Dede back at the line with another bucket. 13 points to lead all the scorers, make it 14. Nobody else on Coastal Bend has scored more than 4, so it's been the Shayla Dede show here in the first half, who already has her season per game average. Reese starts to drive to Johnson, gets in there, and another charge on Johnson. .12 seconds to go in the second quarter to be Coastal Bend basketball. Shayla Dede now back the other way for the Lady Cougars. And she drives, and a block that time by Reese, who came over to help out. Up to Hall, and no time left to get the shot off. And at the half, it's a 28-21 Coastal Bend lead over the Lady Westerners. We'll try to go get some stats and share those with you before the start of the third quarter. You're watching live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas, the WTC Classic. This is the Lady Westerners taking on the Coastal Bend College Lady Cougars. At the half, Coastal Bend the lead, 28-21. We'll be back with third quarter action in a few moments. You're watching live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas, the Western Texas College Classic. The Lady Westerners at the half are down to the Coastal Bend College Lady Cougars. I'm Garen Skates, Associate Professor for Mass Communication and Radio Station Manager for Western Texas College, and I'm your commentator for this evening. And we do live stream all of the home Western Texas College and Lady Westerner basketball games, and next semester we're working on getting some students trained, and you'll hear some of our students that are interested in this line of work or developing this skill set. Some statistics. Well, we were going to share some statistics with you, but they have disappeared off the table while I was gone getting some water, so I'm not sure what happened to them. All right. Well, anyway, 28-21 is the score. Coastal Bend taking on the Lady Westerners from Western Texas College. Lady Westerners are wearing their home whites, the dark blues for Coastal Bend. And the Lady Westerners going from right to left on your screen. We'll have the basketball to start the third quarter of play. See us with the basketball now to Carroll. They kick it out to Delamere in the corner. She can't get the three to go. And McNary with the rebound. Back the other way is Dede, who led everybody with 14 points in the first half, which is her season per game average, and you can make that 16 now. And she's done it primarily driving to the basket and getting short range shots. And Carroll goes in and gets tied up with the basketball. So the possession arrow in favor of the Lady Cougars. You know, one thing that the Lady Cougars have really done well defensively is that anytime someone's coming to the lane, dribbling the ball or holding the ball low, their hands are immediately in there, reaching and tipping it away or tying the other team up. Lady Westerners, that time they get a steal of their own. Back the other way, Michaela Ray. Delamere starts to drive, tries to get it inside to Carroll, and there Burks was waiting to get the steal. Dede back the other way, misses that shot. Reese is hammered by two different people, but no call. Cius, Brianna looks back to Ray. Ray looking inside to Carroll. Pulls back for the baseline jumper and gets it. So Michaela Ray gets the bucket, and it's a 30-23 Coastal Bend lead here in the third quarter. Dede now to Zamora, fires for three, no good. Fight for the rebound, and the Lady Westerners come away with it. Ray now over to Reese. Cius starts to drive, pulls it back, can't get it to go. Dede back the other way. They cut her drive off. Beasley with it now. And she goes and draws the foul. And it's going to be on Cius. And for Brianna, that'll be her second. And Emma Hubbard, number 21, comes into the game for the Lady Westerners. Lady Westerners came into this game 2-3 overall, where the Lady Cougars came in 1-5. the Lady Westerners played Coastal Bend back on November the 11th and got the win there, but Coastal Bend playing much better in this game. 31-23, Coastal Bend. 7:24 to go in the third quarter. Ray fires for three. Can't get it to go. Rebound, McNary. Dede back the other way for the Lady Cougars. Over to Beasley. Zamora, Burks, fires for three. No good. And the official blows a whistle for a stoppage of play. And evidently got some, might be some blood on the uniform. So they have to pull the player out and tend to that. And the training staff will help her out. So Brianna Montoya comes in for the Lady Westerners to join Hubbard. Sequoia Carroll. Rachel Okoye. And Brianna Cias on the floor for the Lady Westerners. We did discover that number 22 for Coastal Bend is Alexis Rocha, 5'6" freshman from Harlingen, who was listed as 32, but they changed numbers. And Brianna Montoya gets the three. And it's a 31-26 Coastal Bend lead. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. Kennedy fires for three. Montoya the rebound. And a travel by Okoye, who already has one technical foul on her in this game. And they're working on the uniform of Emma Hubbard. And Shayla Dede back the other way. Gets a screen. Moves in. Puts it up. No good. Fight for the rebound. And Dede with the hustle, but it's Lady Westerner basketball. Okoye almost traveled with the basketball. Montoya to Carroll. Back to Montoya. Fakes the three. Inside, wide open is Carroll. Great pass by Montoya. She drew three people to her and was able to get the pass down inside to Carroll. 31-28. The Lady Westerners closed to within three. Inside is Beasley, who gets herself out of position and out of control, is going to get bailed out with the foul call against Sheila Lee. In for the Lady Westerners. Lee back out and Hubbard in. Five and a half minutes to go in the third quarter. Beasley. Montoya for three. Misses it. Rebound. And Salava into the game. Couldn't get the putback. Burks back the other way. Gets too far underneath the bucket. Lady Westerners now running it back the other way. Over to Okoye, and she travels. Every time the Lady Westerners, you think they're going to get on a little bit of a run and start to get back into things. Suffer from some adversity. And it makes it harder. And Dede completely out of control. No call on either a travel or a charge, but the Lady Westerners do get her stopped that time. Hubbard finds herself open, puts it up, and no call on that contact. Dede back the other way for Coastal Bend. 4.5 to go in the third quarter. Kennedy fires for three and gets it. Coastal Bend hasn't made very many threes, but that one was big and takes the lead 35-28. Montoya. Salava in. Hubbard from the baseline gets her own miss, puts it back up, and no good. Dede back the other way. She gives up the ball to Beasley inside. Back out to Dede, who fires for three, no good. Montoya. Man-to-man defense. Montoya, a long three, gets it. Well, Brianna Montoya has been able to make the three. And it's a 35-31 Coastal Bend lead, and the Lady Cougars call a timeout. We'll be back right after this. You're watching the WTC Classic live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. All right, the action resumes, and the Lady Westerners are within 4 of Coastal Bend, 35-31. They've only led once this game, and that was in the second quarter by 1 point for just a little while. And other than that, Coastal Bend has been in front the entire way. The largest lead by the Lady Cougars has been 7 points. All right, and Coach Crum has called another timeout, trying to get the Lady Westerners a little bit more organized defensively, so we're going to go ahead and take one as well, and we'll be back with the action in 30 seconds. Lady Cougars with the basketball. Beasley in the weave, hands off to Sydney Dede, who gets it in close, and it drops off the back of the iron at 37-31. 6-point lead for Coastal Bend over the Lady Westerners. And Hall throws it out of bounds, looking for Cius underneath. Lady Westerners here, the host team, along with the Westerner men's team for this WTC Classic. All games being played here live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Coastal Bend with the basketball. Zamora. And back around to McNary. Has the ball tipped away. She gets it back, puts it up, no good. Fight for the rebound, and Delamere gets it tipped over to Hall. Hall now up ahead. Montoya fires for three and can't get it to drop. Beasley now. McNary. Zamora. Rocha. Behind her to back to Beasley. Top of the key. Man-to-man defense by the Lady Westerners. They switch off on Beasley. Inside. Sydney Deedy open but couldn't get it to drop. And Salava picks up the loose ball back to Hall. Kalani Hall with it now. Right side to Padua Delamere. Drives, spins, and got it. You know, the Lady Westerners only shot 20% in the first half, but they're not out of this game. They're down by 4 to Coastal Bend, 37-33. Rocha the shot, no good. Delamere the rebound, 1:38 to go in the third. Delamere decides to drive. Oh, and the finger roll by Padua Delamere. And it's a 37-35 Coastal Bend lead. Lady Westerners back to within 2. Minute 20 to go in the third. McNary holding the ball inside. Sydney Deedy kicks it out. Zamora fires for three. Fight for the rebound. Players hit the deck. And no call there. And it's going to be out of bounds off a Lady Westerner. Shayla Deedy back into the ball game for Coastal Bend, along with Janice Nichols. Shepard for Coastal Bend pulls up. Jumper, no good. Montoya back the other way. Delamere inside, beautiful pass to Carroll. Perfect pass from the wing, and Carroll made good on it. And we are tied at 37. 44 seconds to go in the third. A wild shot by Sydney Deedy. Good job by the Lady Westerners holding the defensive position and not reaching. Out of bounds to the Lady Westerners. Delamere with 7 points in this ball game. Cius with the dribble, the drive, no good. She hits the deck and she's fouled. And Shayla Deedy commits her first personal foul. Only one team foul in this quarter on Coastal Bend, 2 on the Lady Westerners. And Brianna Cius at the line, and the lefty for 2. And it's good. And the Lady Westerners have their second lead of the game, and the first one they've had since they led by 1 point during the second quarter. They lead 38-37. Delamere, though, offensive rebound off the missed free throw. Collision out there. Delamere moves in, and they tip the ball away from her, and here comes Deedy. Back the other way, forcing the action. And Deedy figures if your feet are moving, she's going to continue to drive and just force her way in there, and she's going to get the foul called unless someone slides over and holds defensive position. And she makes the free throw, so the lead for the Lady Westerners is very short-lived. We're tied at 38, a little under 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. 39-38 on that free throw. And a foul by Sydney Deedy. I believe that'll be her third, and she comes out of the game, and Alani Selden comes in. Delamere inbounds to Hall. Over to Cias. Montoya, the quick three. Got it! Well, Brianna Montoya, with 12 points in the game, leads all scorers for the Lady Westerners and gives the Lady Westerners a 2-point lead, 41-39, as we go into the third quarter. Only the third lead of the game for the Lady Westerners. You're watching live the Western Texas College Basketball Classic from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. We'll be back with the fourth quarter between Western Texas College, the Lady Westerners, and the Coastal Bend College Lady Cougars right after this. All right, we start the fourth quarter of play here at the WTC Classic, the Lady Westerners hosting in this game the Coastal Bend College Lady Cougars. Kawani Hall for the Lady Westerners has the ball stolen from her by Deedy, and a layup, and Deedy misses the layup, and Selden loses the ball out of bounds, but they're going to say it's Coastal Bend basketball. Kawani Hall looking at Coach Crum for some kind of communication, and Deedy took advantage of it and swiped the basketball. McNary starts to move in, kicks it out. Selden for three. No good. Rebound Hall. So the Lady Westerners didn't pay for that turnover. 41-39, the Lady Westerners a 2-point lead. That's their third and largest lead of the game. And Carroll gets the rebound back but can't put it in. And McNary with it. Deedy now picks up the basketball. And Deedy, you know, she'll be looking to drive just like that, and has been able to draw a lot of fouls against the Lady Westerners. Hall picks up the foul. Deedy at the line for two shots. And Michaela Ray comes into the game. And Deedy hits the free throw. And it's certainly been the Shayla Deedy show for Coastal Bend. 19 points in this game for Shayla Deedy, leading everybody in the game and well over her per season average. But wow, Padilla Delamere goes coast to coast with it for the Lady Westerners. And it's a 43-40 Lady Westerner lead. And now it's a tie game after McNary hits the three. But she doesn't make very many of those, and that's a shot the Lady Westerners can live with. And Cias moves back in and gets the shot for the Lady Westerners. Good move by Brianna Cias. Shepard dribbling the basketball. Out to Didi. There's a carry, no call there. And she throws up an overhand shot and puts it in, and we're tied at 45. 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Brianna Montoya to Delamere. Over to Ray. In the corner. Montoya for three. And it caroms off the rim and across the backboard, and it's out of bounds. But Brianna Montoya has helped keep the Lady Westerners in this game, along with Brias and Delamere with 9 points apiece. And we're tied at 45. It's Coastal Bend basketball. And with 19 points, Didi comes up, gives up the ball to Beasley. Zamora, Burks, inside to McNary, and Carroll read that pass coming. Delamere back the other way now, making a move. Back out to Brias. She retains the loose ball in the possession. Carroll fires up a three. Delamere tries to save it, but it's Coastal Bend basketball. A long pass to Zamora, back to Beasley. Over to Didi, who fires up a three and misses it. And Michaela Ray snags a tough rebound. We're still tied at 45. Ray moves in. Montoya back to Michaela Ray. Skip pass. Delamere fires for three. Got it! Delamere hits the three. Lady Westerners 48-45. They've only led a half a dozen times, and this matches their largest lead of one of those of those leads that they've had. Beasley to Didi, makes a move to drive. The spin move off the glass, no good. And man, getting hammered in there is Michaela Ray, and no call. And Burks is going to pick up the foul. And Alexis Rocha comes into the game. Ray inbounds to Cius. Lady Westerners lead 48-45. 6.5 to go in the ball game. Ray to Delamere. Gets a screen, moves in, kicks it out. Cius alone for three, can't get it to go. That would have been big. They trap Beasley. A loose ball. Up ahead to Zamora. Rocha. Inside, open, and missing the shot is Sydney Didi, and she's going to pick up the foul. And I believe that's going to be her fourth foul, third or fourth. Lady Westerners back with the basketball. Michaela Ray brings it up, and she fires a three. Long rebound picked up by Beasley. A quick shot taken within the shot clock, and Sydney Didi bulls her way in and grabs the rebound. Nearly gets a steal. 48-47, Lady Westerners by one. Over to Cius, to Delamere. Back to Brias, pulls in. 15-footer, no good. Rebound, Beasley. And they're going to call the foul on Delamere in the reach-in. That'll be her second. 2 team fouls on both teams here in the fourth quarter. Kennedy comes in for Coastal Bend. Carroll's going to come back in for Cius. Zamora with the basketball now. And the dribble. Back the other way. McNary beyond the arc, drives, pulls up, and off, and Reese with the rebound. Delamere brings the ball up. Delamere to Montoya, thought about the long three. Gets a screen from Reese. She was open and hesitated and created the double dribble. She realizes now by her motion, she said, I should have just shot it. 4:41 to go. The turnover to Coastal Bend, and to be their basketball. Lady Westerners trying to hold on to a 1-point lead, 48-47. You're watching the WTC Classic from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. We'll be back with more action right after this break. It'll be Coastal Bend, the Lady Cougars, their basketball. Inbounding here in the fourth quarter, 4:41 to go. The Lady Westerners, Western Texas College, lead 48-47. One of the very few leads the Lady Westerners have had in this ball game. Zamora nearly double dribbles, picks the ball up and gets it off to Beasley. Handling the basketball. And the weave around to Zamora, pulls up for the jumper and has it, and it's fouled. And I believe the foul will be on Jamisha Reese of the Lady Westerners. And a three-point play completed by Zamora. And it's a 50-48 Coastal Bend lead. 4:18 to go. The Lady Westerners have been resilient. Down most of the game, but always fighting to claw back within it and take a lead occasionally. See what they can do here. Reese backing in, and a foul by Kennedy. Displeased with the call. Lady Westerners will be inbounding. 3-team fouls apiece here in the fourth quarter. Out to Delamere. Inside to Carroll. Double teamed. And they're going to call a jump ball and a tie-up. And again, Coastal Bend has been very good defensively on the interior, and they really collapse well, and they've created a lot of tie-ups and tipped a lot of balls away down low in the paint. 50-48, and Dede with the basketball for Coastal Bend. 3:44 to go in the ball game. Coastal Bend with the lead, 50-48. Dede now off to Beasley. Delamere trying to slow her down a little bit. And she gets it out to Kennedy, inside to Dede. Shayla Dede, who gets the bucket, who's got 21 points in this ball game. 21 of the 52 for Coastal Bend. And Kawani Hall ran into Dede and commits the foul, and it's a turnover. And pretty much everything offensively good that happens for Coastal Bend has Shayla Dede involved in it. She averages 14 points a game, and she's got 23 in this one. All right, 52-48, Coastal Bend a 4-point lead. There's a timeout. We'll take one as well. We'll be back with the rest of the action right after this. It's Coastal Bend Lady Cougar basketball. The Lady Westerners of Western Texas College down by 4, 52-48. 3:08 to go in the ball game. Dede of the Lady Cougars with the basketball, and she drives. And this time, the Lady Westerners anticipate the drive and picks up the charge against Shayla Dede. 4 team fouls apiece in the fourth quarter. 3 minutes to go, and the Lady Westerners down by 4. The Lady Westerners have been behind the majority of the basketball game, going against both the man-to-man defense and the zone of the Lady Cougars, and they've been resilient and been able to climb back in, and we'll see if they've got one more run in them. The missed shot and the rebound offensively up and good by Jamisha Reese of the Lady Westerners. 52-50, Lady Westerners pulled to within 2. Shayla Dede with the basketball. She's looking to take the shot. They double team her and they get the steal. First time they've stolen the basketball from her in this game. Over to Delamere. Wants the Lady Westerners to run some offense. Over to Okoye. Inside to Carroll. Puts it up. And they're going to call the travel despite the contact. Turnover. Back to the Lady Cougars. They had Beasley braining the ball up for a while, did Coastal Bend. They shifted back now to Shayla Dede. They want the ball in her hands and to make something happen. Zamora to the side with Kennedy, out to McNary. McNary almost lost the ball in her hip, and this time the pass inside goes astray, and the Lady Westerners get another turnover. Another opportunity to tie the game up. Delamere drives, kicks it out. Salava, good! And Salava nails the 3, and the Lady Westerners have taken a 1-point lead, 53-52. And they're going to call Okoye for the foul. And Rachel has got one technical in this game already. Three fouls on Rachel. And Coastal Bend is in the bonus, so they'll get 2 free throws here. So, and Dede 1 out of 2 from the line. .112 to go in the ball game. We're tied at 53. Reese up off the glass, no good. Carroll fights for the rebound, is knocked to the floor, and no call. Dede back the other way for Coastal Bend. And she'll look to drive here, and instead it's a timeout as well. So Coastal Bend, they'll set something up, and I'm sure it'll be for Shayla Dede, who has 24 points in this ball game. 24 of the 53 by Coastal Bend with less than a minute to go. There's a timeout on the floor, and we're going to take one as well. You're watching Western Texas College Basketball Classic action live at the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. .53 seconds to go in the ball game. The Western Texas College Lady Westerners are tied at 53 with the Coastal Bend College Lady Cougars. Lady Cougars with the basketball. Zamora with it now. And they're looking to set a off the ball screen for Dede, trying to get it to her. Instead, it's Kennedy. And the pass tipped there by Okoye. And Okoye with defense is knocked to the floor from behind. And no call. 2 seconds on the shot clock. And Carroll with the rebound. And that time you got to hand it to Rachel Okoye. She really played hard. So it should be Lady Westerner basketball. The Lady Westerners call a timeout. So with 30 seconds to go, it'll be Lady Westerner basketball, I believe, with a chance to go ahead or maybe even win. All right, we'll be back with the rest right after this. All right, with the timeout, Sequoia Carroll will be inbounding the ball for the Lady Westerners. We're tied at 53. 30 seconds to go in the ball game. Lady Westerners, Salava with it inside to Carroll. Wide open and got the bucket. 55-53, 25 seconds to go. And Okoye cleaning to Shayla Dede. Out to Kennedy. Inside, Okoye tips the pass away. 15 seconds to go. And Coastal Bend has one thing in mind right now, and that's to find a way to get the ball into the hands of Shayla Dede, who leads everybody in this game with 24 points. That's 10 points above her per game average of 14. It's a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take one as well. And we appreciate all of you viewing in to the Western Texas College Basketball Classic. The Lady Westerners on the floor tonight hosting the Coastal Bend Lady Cougars in a real nail-biter. We'll be back with the rest of the action right after this. All right, Coastal Bend inbounding the basketball at their own end of the floor. Dede inbounding, you figure they'll throw it back to her, and that's what they do to get the ball to her. She gets open, runs over a player, no good, and Okoye with the rebound, and I think Dede's going to get the reach-in foul, and she does. And now there's a discussion with the officials. So for Shayla Dede, that is her fifth foul. and she is fouled out of the ball game. So the leading scorer for Coastal Bend is fouled out of the game. There's 5 team fouls apiece, and that foul by Didi is going to send Rachel Okoye to the line for 2 shots, and that's going to give the Lady Westerners, who have a 2-point lead, a chance to make this a 2-possession game with 7 seconds to go. So if you're a Lady Westerner fan, of course you would like to see both of these made, but for sure you'd like to see one. So the worst that can happen, you would figure, is on a long-range 3, Coastal Bend tying it up. But they have some shooters out there on the floor. And Okoye misses the free throw. 55-53 Lady Westerners. They haven't led very many times in this game, but they're leading now with 7 seconds to go. Okoye with the free throw attempt. No good. Oh, and Delamere comes away with the rebound and calls a timeout to salvage the possession so that she doesn't get called for the travel. So the Lady Westerners have the basketball back on a missed free throw offensive rebound, leading 55-53. So you figure with about 5 seconds to go in the ball game, Coastal Bend, what they may try to do is to foul quickly to put the Lady Westerners back at the line. But still, we'll see what they decide to do. On the floor, you got Salava, you got Carroll, you've got Reese, you got Delamere, and you got Okoye. But they have to inbound the basketball first. 4.8 seconds to go. Okoye out to Salava. And a foul inside. And Carroll gets called for an offensive foul on an illegal screen. So now it's Coastal Bend's basketball with 4 seconds to go. The Lady Westerners lead 55-53. All the Lady Westerners were needing to do was to inbound it. The pass tipped away into the hands, and the Lady Westerners are going to hold on. And although they led only a handful of times in this ball game, they do manage somehow to hold on, getting the lead in the fourth quarter at the end and coming away with the victory, 55-53 over the Coastal Bend Lady Cougars. That moves the Lady Westerner record to 3-3, and it drops Coastal Bend to 1-6 on the season, and it marks the Lady Westerner's second win over the Lady Cougars this season. All right, we're going to have a little bit here. We're going to try to grab some stats from this game, and then we'll have the men hosting Victoria College in the evening contest. You're watching the Western Texas College Classic live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. And we'll be back with the men's game in about 14 minutes.